We missed you yesterday.
Yeah, we were there, then we weren't there. What happened?
Oh, man. What a day we had yesterday.
Yes. People actually thought I died.
I know.
They did.
Tell everybody what happened. Tell everybody that you're okay.
Well, first of all, I'm fine, but you might have noticed that 2/3 of the way through our show, we suddenly stopped broadcasting. Now, this program introduction occurred during the Fire Department Swift Water Rescue Robo-Rocket demonstration, of which I was a part of. Take a look at the shooting to see exactly what happened.
Watch.
News at 11.
You ready?
Yeah.
Set?
Oh.
Wow!
Wow! Yeah! Wow!
Those aren't the ones.
Too loud!
Man!
What are the... We tried
This morning that none of these wires were live. Because he sent a man up there today. I know.
It's the smoking gun theory. I'm saying there was another gun fired. Grassy Knoll came from Gelman, East Coast. They feel the threat of Home and Family. They tried to take us off the air. It's not going to happen. Well, to get the lowdown on what happened, our captain is back. Captain Jack Wise. He's Swiftwater Rescue Team. Now, Captain.
How are you doing today?
You've had 22 hours, 22 and a half hours to think about what happened yesterday. Officially, what happened?
Well, what happened was when you shot the rocket, it went over the high-tension lines that we thought were dummy lines along with the props around here.
Okay.
And what happened is the line got pulled over, and when it got pulled over, the rescue rocket was still attached.
So the
didn't
rope,
get a chance.
excuse me, the rope that went over the lines then was being pulled back.
Yes, it was.
Did it touch another wire?
The two wires touched together and basically blacked out the whole area.
But the rope itself did not, it's just a rope. What happened is the rope pulled two hot wires together.
Exactly.
Right, because you shoot over high-tension lines all the time, correct?
Yes, we try not to do it all the time, but we do it occasionally by accident. And what happened was at this time, before we get somebody down there to disconnect the rescue rocket on the end of it, the projectile on the end of it, it got pulled over, and when the projectile hit the wires, it pulled the two together. That's what caused
So that heavy weight at the end should not have been on.
Didn't you feel like somebody else, because it sounded exactly the same, like somebody else was, you know, shooting back at us. But you know what kind of power we have here at Home and Family? Not only did we knock out our own house, but we knocked out all of Universal Park! Yes!
Here's what happened. No,
we did!
The power outage took out the tour animation, including Earthquake, King Kong, and the PT boat from McHale's Navy.
Yes!
That boat didn't go down in the 5 years that show was on the air, and we took it out in 30 seconds.
Yeah, I understand that they got their power back like a minute later because they have backup generators, and we went out to lunch.
We had to go off the air. What happens in a live show is they run another show as a backup show right behind us in case anything happens.
I watched it.
Yeah.
I was like 20 pounds heavier. I went, oh my gosh, take that off the air.
Jack, don't you, when somebody goofs up,
well, actually,
explain what happens.
we have a tradition in the fire department, and that is anytime somebody does something for the first time, they owe ice cream for their coworkers. So, in your honor, seeing how that was the first time that you'd actually fired the rescue rocket, and also not only took out your own show, but the whole amusement park,
you have ice cream for us.
Universal Studios, we bought it in your honor for the crew here.
Very big of you. Very nice.
It's also appropriate. It's also appropriately named Blackout Fudge. So, and here's a couple hats for you.
And you know what we do
LA
here
Fire
on Home
Department
Family?
hats.
That is, I've got mine, but I have a captain's hat. I have a black one.
There you have it.
There you go, because I am king. Now, let me. But you know what? It's our tradition here at Home and Family. Whenever the fire department or you guys come up here and we do something to mess up, I go in the kitchen and make something for you guys. So today, this is what we're making. Take a look at this. This is what we're going to have today. Look at that.
Fantastic.
Isn't that beautiful? Look at this, guys. Isn't this great? We're going to eat this a little later. There you go. Start. You can start right now if you want.
Little blackout cake to go with
blackout cake.
fudge.
This is blackout cake with fudge. Excuse me, that's for the crew, Mikey.
I was getting it ready for him. Isn't that something?
Isn't this great? Hey, we need to put it in a freezer, so, well, I guess not. We can leave it at a little room temperature. Yum.
Well, welcome back, Captain.
Yeah,
Well,
welcome
thank you.
back.
And in fact, we have the rescue rocket out here again if you'd like to try it.
Yeah, in a moment we'll give it one more try and see if we can take out
you
the East
serious?
Coast. Sure.
Oh,
Sure,
gosh.
we know what we're doing.
Guess I get to go to lunch.
We're going to redo what we were supposed to do yesterday.
Well, it's funny
That makes
because
sense.
the show there was no completion to the show. There was no closure, as they say. Even our guest, Lucy Arnez, was here yesterday, and she didn't get a chance to say goodbye to us on the air. She didn't get a chance to say goodbye to the viewers. So we've got Lucy on the phone now, right?
Yeah, I'm still outside by the pool. Can I go home now?
How you
Nobody
doing?
told me if I could leave. I'm just wondering because I was expected for dinner last night and I didn't show up. And I didn't want
Such
to
a
leave
good
until
guest.
somebody
You
said goodbye.
stayed right there on your
Yeah,
mark.
yeah. Well, nobody just dismissed me really, so I'm just still here. Let me know when I can leave, okay?
You are such a pro.
You know, you guys blew me away.
Oh, listen, it was such a pleasure having you here, Lucy. I hope you will come time and time again to come up and visit us.
You know, that power outage was a fluke thing. It would
Yeah.
never happen
You
again.
know, it was a bang-up experience. I had a wonderful time.
Well, it was
Thanks a lot.
It
Thank
was
you.
a-
We
it
want
was
to
a
thank
pleasure.
you. You're going to come back, Lucy?
We lost her. Oh, man, that's so sad. We just cut her off. We lost her power.
Hey!
You see the
Can't do that to Lucy Arnaz.
you see the humor involved in that little bit?
Oh, sure, Michael.
I thought that was funny. We told her that we'd cut her off, and she said, "Well, that's very
Well,
funny."
I didn't want to just cut her off. We're not going to get the email, so I just want to redo this but we might, but just in case we don't. Lying here recuperating from surgery and was really enjoying today's show at 1:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You broke for a commercial and came back with a tape show from January '97, I think. What happened? Were you supposed to come back with Swiftwater? You were supposed to come back with Swiftwater Rescue. Did you drown Christina? Well, will the rest of the show, today's show, be aired? So we're going to do that today. We are going to try to attempt to drown me. Not only drown me, I'm going to be, yes, with 2 rescues today. Once where I will be rescued from the LA Basin, which is right there, the LA Basin. And the other one is, we're going to pretend like, I guess there are a lot of tornadoes in Texas. We're going to pretend the house collapsed on me.
It's the Urban Search and Rescue
or
Team.
earthquake, or any kind of natural disaster.
These guys come to their aid. It's the Urban Search and Rescue Team number 27, and we welcome Steve Ruda. I believe it. Ruda, bring it back, Jimmy. Jimmy. It is. Yeah, Steve Ruda. Welcome, Steve.
Where's Steve? There you are.
How are you?
Good morning.
What are you going to do today to me?
Well, we've got some more exciting things for you today. If you thought yesterday was good, today will be even better. We are one of 3 urban search and rescue teams here in the Los Angeles City Fire Department that have been trained far and beyond that of the normal first responders of the fire department here in LA to help in showing you today how we operate during earthquake operations. For example, we've turned part of your house into a damaged
Right.
earthquake room, and it's those of us here in Los Angeles, and I live in Northridge myself, and that pretty well reminisces for me. That was reality.
Yeah.
Right.
And we're going to show you today some of the safe spots in a room. We're going to get you trapped in one of those bedrooms, and we're going to send our team from Urban Search and Rescue 27 to make you a rescue and then take you down off this mountaintop home in a unusual manner.
Oh, great.
Because a lot of the times everything that all the norms during earthquake, as we knew out here in California,
You can't get in a car and
radically
drive away.
changed.
Right.
We can't get rescues up the hill. We can't. The hill might not even be here.
Right.
So all we have left in this particular tornado or earthquake or hurricane is one little room with 4 rescuers, and we're going to save your life.
Excuse me.
What?
They told me I would be buried, but they didn't tell me I was going to be taken away in an unusual manner. So what is that?
Well, you'll just
Don't
know
tell
what
her.
happens. You can't
That'll,
predict these natural
that will have to
disasters.
cost you some more ice cream, probably.
Oh, and we have our rescue doggies.
We do. This is traditionally a firehouse dog. This is Jill.
Hi,
And
Jill.
Dalmatians have traditionally been firehouse mascots. And this is a 5-year-old Bella. She is a border collie, a well-trained dog in urban search and rescue. It goes around the country. And this is her trainer, Dorisa Teller.
Do I understand there's a friendly rivalry between the 2 divisions, between Urban Rescue and the Swiftwater team? Is
Well,
there
there
a-
seems to be, who knows
Now look at him laugh.
Well, I know he set you up.
Well, no, I was just told that there is a friendly rivalry between the 2 of you.
Tell them what you were told.
You bust each other's chops a little bit.
Yeah.
Am I right?
It is. I mean, both teams spend a lot of time in training, learning the techniques and the knots and the systems that are used.
Sure.
But yeah, there is rivalry.
Who's the pink poodle team?
Well, traditionally,
Is there one team that's tougher than another? Let's just call it like it is.
I want to know which one is the pink poodle team.
the
Oh,
traditionally.
he's Urban Rescue?
I'll speak for that issue because in Hollywood, that's where 27s is located, in the heart of Hollywood. And it's a station where we get an opportunity to do a lot with the media.
So
the rest
you're
of them
glamour
are jealous.
darlings.
But, I
The rest
see.
of them are jealous, and they call us the Poodles or the Poodle House. And when I first got there, I thought, well, we're going to change that real quick. But then all of a sudden, it was pretty nice. So
Yeah.
we kind of kept it. And
You're in showbiz.
right, we don't refer to ourselves as the Poodle Palace or the Poodles from 27. Everybody else outside of 27's, the Jealous Fellas.
Oh, do you
welcome
have
to
a
the
name
show.
for those guys? You have a name for
The
those
Jealous
guys?
Fellows.
The Jealous?
For these guys?
Yeah.
I don't think you can say it here.
No, we can't. Do it.
Okay.
The Dukes.
Welcome to the show. We look forward to the rescues. Also joining
Wait a
us.
minute. Before,
What?
do you see
Yeah.
what I'm wearing? Is this beautiful? Is this gorgeous?
This is from our guest,
Yeah,
is it
Candace
not?
has one too. Candace, show yours because we have a guest here today.
Pretty much
yes.
ripped him right off Cece's
Yeah,
body.
yeah, we
This-
did.
Here's my necklace.
CCH
and
Pounder
Say hi
from
to
ER is
CCH
here.
Pounder.
We want to welcome. Beautiful.
I've got a nice one too.
These
From
are
the
my
TV
own.
show ER.
Aren't these beautiful? This is your line of jewelry?
This is my own line of jewelry, yes. Myself and Connie Marie Brazelton, who is also on ER.
Inspired
That
from
works
where,
with me.
Cece?
Pardon me?
Where's the jewelry inspired from?
From West African stones,
Yeah?
and I mix them with European findings.
They're beautiful.
And I've been doing it for about 5 years.
Where can we go get them? We
Well,
got 'em. No, I know,
not
but if
up
everybody
there.
else wants to go shopping for them, because they are absolutely exquisite.
Yeah, they'll have to call.
Okay, well, we'll talk about that later when we get a
Absolutely.
chance to talk to you. Welcome.
And talk about life on ER.
Yeah, life on ER.
And how far we've both come.
We have. We've
Well, you
known
know each other?
forever.
Yeah.
Where do you know each other from?
From 1984, Mike?
About 84, 85, I was doing warm-up, which is what you do when they tape a sitcom. I was the guy that would come out and keep the studio audience entertained for the length of the show. And it was the first television show on the Fox network.
That's right.
A sitcom, if you can believe it or not, called...
Women in Prison.
Hey, are you
It was
serious?
a sitcom with Peggy Cass, Wendy Jo Sperber, CCH Pounder, and it was
Julia
about all the
Campbell.
hijinks that happen in prison.
What did Michael do?
He warmed up the audience.
kept the audience.
How do you warm up an audience for that?
Well, it's a sitcom audience, and you come out and you chat with them, and it takes 3 or 4 hours to shoot a half-hour show.
That's
so I'd
right.
come out and do my little dog and pony show. But I remember the one night where I came out. Now, this is a show about people in prison. The lighter side.
Yeah.
I like her side of it.
You didn't kill him. So I said to the whole audience, I said, now this is a show all about prison. I said, just for fun, how many have you been to jail? The entire audience raised their hand. They had furloughed a group of inmates to come watch the show. Yeah, I've been. You know, it was all like that. Oh my God. They left like this. Good show. Good show. Funny stuff. And I saw Wendy do it in CCH, and then from then on, you know, our paths had crossed, and now she's on the most successful show in the history of television, and I couldn't be
By
happier.
the way, which my husband put on the air. Did you know that?
Yes.
My husband, Tony Thermopoulos, found the script. He got Michael Crichton to write the treatment for the 2-hour.
I didn't know.
Yeah, he took it because he was working for Steven
Why
Spielberg
does he
at the
never
time.
come to see us?
He's been there many, many times. He was at Amblin for the first year you were on. Then he left and he's running the Family Channel. That's how I got this job. Okay, but anyway, but he's responsible, totally responsible for ER. So I mean, I know they all do a great job, but he was the one that
that's
actually
fantastic.
got
I
it to
didn't
go.
know
Didn't you
that.
join the show about 6 episodes in?
Yes,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
6 episodes.
That's where you probably missed it. But he used to be there. Ask George and everybody else on the set.
Preston's very powerful. You never see him, but he's there. You know
Yeah,
what I
he
mean?
is. I'm very proud of that. I'm very proud of the fact that Tony was
He's
instrumental
much
in
like the
putting me
ozone
on.
layer. You know it's
Yeah.
there, but you just can't see it.
Yeah. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Okay. Also, here's a man they call the sex symbol of the saxophone. Everett Harp is
Everett, welcome back.
his nickname.
Yeah.
Oh, I haven't. Oh,
What is your nickname?
I don't know. I was maybe hoping you'd give me.
Yeah. Does he have a nickname?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sex
Sex
symbol
symbol.
of the heart.
Oh, the sex symbol.
Oh, that thing.
How do you feel about being a sex symbol of the
I don't know. When I'm taking out the trash on Monday mornings and cleaning up after and taking my daughter to school, you don't feel very sexy.
It's all a media thing. It's all media.
What are you going to play for us today?
Oh, I thought I'd play. I have a new record out, tribute to Marvin Gaye. I thought I'd play a little something for you.
Sure.
On that.
Can you
Wanna
tease
hear
us?
it? You want to tease?
A little tease. Everett Harp. Sex symbol of the sax.
Email.
Oh, I'm sorry. That's the wrong song.
No, that's...
I was getting all excited.
Beautiful.
That was so sexy, he blew out a light here in the family room.
Fire
Very
department's here,
nice.
lights are going
Yeah.
out. It's the whole thing starting all over again. It's not going to blow out, it's just going to blow out slowly this time, one light
Yeah.
at a time. Okay, so as we mentioned at the top of the show, we were interrupted while we were trying to learn what the Swift Water Rescue Team does. So, take us back now, Captain Weiss. We're going to start again, as we tried. And with Christina, you're going to do what today?
What we're going to do is we're going to simulate a rescue that she was stranded out in a river,
okay,
trying to forge the stream in her car. She got stranded, and now we're going to go and pluck her out of the stream.
Now, should we take it where we started, where we left off yesterday? I will fire the rocket again.
Yes, we can do that. We're gonna aim you a little different this time.
Okay. Point me in the right direction.
Okay. We have the rescue
right.
right here.
Come
Perfect.
with us.
Can I watch?
All right. We're going to try this again.
Yeah, this time we're going to aim for the real high tension lines. Instead of just taking out the studio, we're going to take out all of the city of Los Angeles.
All right.
No, I'm just kidding. Actually, what we're going to do is wait for a man to get down there.
Sure.
We're going to shoot it up over our ladder right there.
I see the line right there.
Yeah, you see the line?
Okay.
And we're going to shoot it up.
Oh,
just
nice,
hold
our
it the same way you
backyard
did before.
Now, this won't go to the houses. It won't hit that.
No, it will not. We made sure of that.
Yeah.
Okay. You said, no, it won't. And he said, well, I hope not. All right. Now, show me again. This is the trigger.
That's the
There's
trigger.
The handle.
That's the handle. You're going to hold it at 45-degree angle. Is it all clear, Brian?
Safety pins up. You ready?
Okay.
Now, this
clear
makes a
wire.
little noise, so if you're sensitive, everybody happy?
Low
Ready?
recoil. Excellent job. No wires.
Yeah, no wires.
Hey!
No blackouts this time.
All right,
Hey!
when we come back, we're going to...
I'm going to lunch. I'm leaving. I'm going to lunch.
When we come back, we're going to save a life. Christina's, possibly. Take a break, be right back.
I'm going to lunch. I'm out of here. Come on, let's go to lunch.
We had your crew giving us money to get us off early today.
You guys.
Okay, welcome back. Everything's safe, power is up, and we are now with the Swiftwater Rescue Team, one of the most specialized branches of the LA Fire Department. Captain Jack Weiss is back with us with a smile on his face because, you know, things have gone well so far. Now, you're going to demonstrate a rescue with us today?
Yes, we are, and thank God the power's still on, so that's a good start. What we're going to do is, again, we're going to simulate that Christina is taking her car and trying to go through a shallow water crossing, and as we know, 18 inches of water is enough to actually move a car.
Wow.
And that's...
Once it gets it up and moving.
Right, gets it up and moving, and might move it down into the stream. That's very similar to the situation that they showed.
15 seconds here of a little clip of a rescue team, I believe, involving a helicopter, if you want to watch this.
Oh, great.
Take a look. So our car is floating.
Right, the car's...
No, that's all right. We haven't got a picture of this yet. There it is.
There we are.
Here we are. Now look at this being hooked and harnessed, huh?
Right. This is this is actually an in-water rescue right now of somebody in the channels, and what we had is looks like LA County Air Ops came in and performed a rescue, and they actually lowered a person down, grabbed the person out of the river, and then hoisted them back.
How dangerous is it for you? How dangerous is it for the team when they go down into a raging river like that?
Well, that's what we hope our training is for. We go through a massive amount of training. We're prepared. We're in protective clothing. We have thermal protection. We have flotation devices on. We have protection for our head, face, arms, and we have radio communication when we go into waters like that.
Okay. Now, earlier you set up the rescue system, so go ahead and roll this, and you can tell us what it took to set up the system to roll it.
In the city of Los Angeles, we have about 3.5 minutes to set up a rescue site once we get on scene. Right now, what the gentlemen there are doing is, again, shooting the rescue rocket, not into any high-tension lines. And what we do there is put a tag line on it and pull over our high line.
It just gets the rope across wherever it has to go.
Exactly, and that'll go about 500 feet, that line. Okay. And right now they're setting up a mechanical advantage system so that they can tension that high line, because we're going to put about upwards of 600 pounds on that line in the middle of it.
And you're doing this all under pressure in a quick period of time?
Yes, indeed. This system, it takes a little bit longer than 3.5 minutes, but this is one of the techniques that we can use. In dynamic water, when we only have 3.5 minutes, we have to do real simple, quick systems, and we have to be ready to go in and get those people.
But you also have someone who may be seconds away from dying, right? So you can not only rescue them, but hopefully save the life.
Oh, exactly.
Right.
The best thing that we can do for them is number one, provide them flotation.
Right.
Let them know that we're out there to help them.
Boy, I bet you are a welcome sight when they see you coming over. Huh?
Yes, indeed.
Yeah.
It's rewarding for us as well. We not only do this, but we do a lot of educational programs for the children.
Which we hope this is doing as well.
Oh, yes.
Okay, now, poor Christina. The rescue system is set up, it's ready to go, and let's watch the Swift... Hi, pal. Take to work and rescue Christina. Watch.
Okay,
Go.
right now we've got Craig up on our high line, and we're going to bring him over to Christina, who's just above Killer Fang Falls here in her Hyundai. And as you can hear him, he's actually communicating with the victim.
That's important to communicate with the victim as they're coming down, right?
Exactly. We don't want them to panic and try to jump up and do anything that would jeopardize themselves at this time. So what we're going to do is he's going to lower himself down and get her flotation and some protection for her head.
I see.
Because if right now, if she panics, she can go in the water. And as we know, when it's raining, it's cold out.
Sure.
And once they get in the water, due to the coldness of the water, they start losing their ability to float and to stay afloat and use their arms. So we give them the flotation.
First you get them warm and somewhat secure.
Well, we try to give them flotation. Number one is keep their head above water.
Right.
And that's the thing, because people after a while can't do that. Right now he's inverted, and the reason why is so he can help her out. And if he presents his feet first, what will happen is she can grab a hold.
She can grab his feet.
That's right.
And he can't do her any good.
That's right. We don't want that. So he inverted himself. Now he's going to lower down. He's going to connect into his rig right there. As you can see, he's
You're going to go harness to harness?
Harness to harness. And he's going to go ahead and, at the same time, he's talking to her the whole time. Stay sit.
I've never seen Christina happier. You know, I mean, there should be some pain involved.
Okay.
Christina, fake it a little bit.
Well, when we were putting the harness on her earlier, there's a little bit of pain involved. But
Now, are you in communication with your gentleman on the side vis-a-vis just your voice, or are you radioed?
with radio communications,
Okay.
something like this, yes. We have waterproof radios that we use, and we have specialized apparatus.
Can you
Also,
guys
the other
hear me?
thing-
We hear you now, yeah.
Clip you into my
He's clipping me into his harness now
Going into the
with
harness.
this very thin piece of cloth.
It's amazing.
It seems like a very thin piece of cloth.
Oh,
But it's a cloth that's certainly going to hold her.
Oh, yes, indeed.
Okay, one
Or
thing.
did last.
yeah.
When we get going,
No,
Right.
all of our
Okay.
rescue systems, ropes, pulleys, and webbing, they're all rated for rescues. That little piece of webbing she's talking about is rated at 4,000 pounds.
that's right. We'll
So we're not going to subject that to it.
Christina, that can hold 4,000 pounds.
Oh, good. I'm so glad you told me that. Oh, my gosh.
Now,
Now,
you to tell
yeah, at this
where.
point, he's controlling the victim to make sure that she doesn't panic and start jumping and moving her around. And now they've got her up to a point, and they're
So
going.
what are you doing Saturday night?
okay, we're locked. Okay, just she's locked. And what happens from here?
And what happens from here? They're going to lower him down just a little bit, and they're going to take her now over to a position of safety, which is over to the bank. To the
Now, will they offer her medical assistance at the other side?
Exactly. What we have on the other side, we would have a rescue ambulance.
So,
All of our police built the pyramids with.
let me put you on the spot here. From the, what would you?
We gotta get her to the She's doing okay.
Yeah.
Five signs.
Is it proper things?
Yeah, usually when they request it, it's like some area.
All right, let's take a look to have. Meet the star of ER. You've got some medical advice. Now let's meet her.
Hey, those eyes are incredible. When you're in a situation like that and you're frightened and we talk to you and it makes you feel better, you can't.
And in your situation, you know, the water wasn't moving. You were sitting there. Imagine
Yeah.
how tough that is with it flowing.
Yeah, flowing and water and the noise, it has to be frightening, but that was great.
And it gets just as exciting in the next hour. We're going to rescue her from a collapsed building. It's a big day for you. All right.
Why not?
We are back with the assertive Angela Hicks from ER. Please welcome officially CCH founder.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks a lot.
Dispensed some medical advice at the end of the rescue.
I tried, but trust me, get a real doctor.
Get a real doctor.
I'd be curious to know, you're in your third season, you must have absorbed a lot of medical knowledge over the years, and people on the street may say, you know, I know you're an actress, but it hurts when I do this.
Yeah, but unfortunately, you know what happens is that you think you've absorbed it, but you really haven't.
Really?
And people are always coming up to you and telling you about their back, their sides, their hips.
Really?
And I'm always saying, see your doctor.
Yeah.
I'm not a
See
real
your
doctor, but I play one on TV.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But it's amazing how you've become endeared to them. They just sort of come up to you and go, oh, Dr. Hicks.
Sure.
Oh, and if it's not about medical advice, it's about ragging on Benton. So.
Well, you've got a powerful cast around you as well.
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
And we have a clip. Let's see.
great.
Let's see a little clip. Let's see her at work. At IRC.
Her in work.
At
Watch.
IRC.
I know you have your heart set on a high-end specialty, Peter. But I've got an opening on my team for a good general surgeon. Not flashy, but we still have a lot of fun. It's not ambition, Peter. It's about healing people. Just let me know if you change your mind.
Dr. Hicks, I'd be honored.
Good.
So what's it like really on the set? Because I understand you guys, to ease the tension, you guys cut up a little bit and play tricks on each other.
George
Is that
is
true?
a big cut up. Yeah,
Is it?
George is a big
Yeah.
cut up.
Anthony's kind of serious. All the nurses have a good deal of fun. Noah, sensitive one. Sometimes he cuts up, sometimes not.
Sure.
And Eric, because his character is so arrogant, you know, they're never quite sure whether it's him or whether it's whether it's real or whether it's So sometimes I think Eric, they kind of lay a joke on him and he turns on them and they kind of go, is he joking?
Did that work
or not?
How real is it when you're in the operating room and a crash cart comes in and...
Oh no, it's very real. I think what the wonderful thing that your husband envisioned was...
Well, it was actually the writer John Wells who envisioned, yeah.
Well, first of all, they're real doctors and real nurses working in all of those operating scenes with us.
Really?
And the setup is all about getting the right instruments to the right part of the body so that you actually are learning as you go along. I'm not saying that we're certainly equipped to do any kind of operation, believe me, but...
Intubate? What do they call it?
Intubate.
You can? Somebody?
Yes. But you have to remember that we've never done it all the way.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
Is there any part of the dialogue that you remember that would impress us? Anything that sounds official as the cart's coming in? Because I hear it and it just sounds like...
Yeah, it's so fast and so like...
50 cc's is lidocaine, stat. Give me a...
I know, there isn't. It's a company black.
Goes in, goes out.
Lidocaine?
They say it all.
Lidocaine.
Oh,
Yeah, they say it in every single scene.
Of lidocaine.
What is it?
Lidocaine.
It's a
numbing agent,
The
right?
numbing,
A numbing?
thing, yeah. You think of the dentist.
But do they, like, because those are, you have to do them so fast in their medical terms. How many times do you have to
is
do
it
them?
one
Like,
take?
is it 1 take, 10 takes?
No,
Do you
sometimes it's 10 takes.
Yeah.
Because sometimes you say, like, he's got the mitosis, he's got mitosis of the, you know, and you keep working until you get it right. But you have these medical rehearsals beforehand, and it's really important. And it's amazing that the doctor wields quite a bit of power.
Yeah.
I'm sure.
Yeah.
But how is this, because doing a series like that takes a long, long time.
It's like going to
You're
medical-
filming.
medical
No,
school
but
as
you're
well.
filming, but how has this changed your life? I mean, you probably have no life.
No, for me, not much. It hasn't changed my life because if you look at the series, you'll always see where Dr. Hicks is always coming out of surgery or going into surgery. You've never seen her outside. She's rarely in the cafeteria. And
gotta eat.
she's always, you know, telling somebody off.
Right.
So she's just like running into an elevator or coming out of surgery. It's very rare. So my part is very concentrated. It's all about surgery and getting these young residents to be great surgeons.
So you do have time for yourself.
I do.
You must, because you make this fabulous jewelry.
Exactly.
When we come back, we're going to talk about this wonderful African jewelry, and she'll tell us about the museum she's building in Africa.
Terrific.
Be right back.
Yeah.
The CH Pounder. We didn't get a chance to mention in the last segment that you were married, but not bi-coastal. You were bi-continental?
Yes.
Yeah,
I'm
where's your
married
husband?
to a West African, Boubacar Kone, who's an anthropologist.
That
He's an
should last
anthropologist.
forever.
He's an anthropologist and
Very funny.
How often do you see each other?
well, it's 45 days on, 45 days off. It's kind of like being in the army, actually. But,
Wow.
you know, I had to also find somebody who was willing to know that I'm going to go on location for 3 months. They can't just sit there with me in the hotel room.
And he's
so.
where exactly?
In Senegal, West
Senegal,
Africa.
West
Right,
Africa.
this is right on the Horn. It's
Right.
in north, so it's next to Mauritania.
Sure.
And then you continue on to Mali, and right below is Burkina Faso.
Where did you meet him?
I met him here, but he was opening a gallery for a friend. I went to that gallery, I saw a beautiful piece, and he told me I couldn't afford to get it. I was highly insulted. I saw him rude.
Yeah.
And I said, well, okay, I'll check with you later. I was doing a huge movie, lots of money, and I came back later.
Yeah.
And I said, so how much is it? He said, you can't afford it. And basically what he was trying to tell me, without hurting my feelings, that it was really to go to a museum person.
Right.
And so I said, well, gee, that's too bad. He said, the next time I'm in Africa, I'll find you something similar. I said, when are you going? And he told me, and I said, can I come? So that's how it started. I went.
Were you interested
A lot of people
in
None.
jewelry
Or in
that-
him.
No.
Were you interested in him?
I had
Or in
no
that
interest
piece? In the
I mean,
jewelry or that piece?
No, you know, he was still wearing his glasses. He was still Clark Kent at the time, so I couldn't tell. And I
That
went.
is the first date of all time.
I know. I went with a group of museum people, and my filming ran over, so I stayed later than they did.
Right.
And I have this story that we're in Mali, we're traveling down a river in one of these pirogues, and it got so quiet And he had told me a few hours before that, you know, a lot of hippos are the greatest killers in Africa, not snakes and so on. And this is a river full of hippos. And he got so quiet. I got so petrified. I said, "Get me out of here! Get me out of here! I can't be here." And the pirogue is a taxi, and the man wants his full fare. He's like, "It's okay, lady. It's okay."
Right.
And I made him get me out of there. But from that day, I think I struck a little arrow in his head.
Yeah. So how many months or weeks afterwards did you like get married? And
17 days.
17 days.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
good you thought about it. That's nice.
Did I?
Oh my gosh, you beat me.
17
days. And our 6th anniversary is May 31st.
Tell us about
this beautiful
the jewelry in the museum you're opening up with your husband.
So ironically how this started is there are some places that he visited that women of childbearing age are not allowed to pass through. So I would stay in the marketplace bargaining and trading, and I bought a lot of beads. Meanwhile, back at my house, Connie Marie Brazelton is waiting to hear whether she gets ER, and she's staying in my guest house. So I come home with a sack full of beads, and we're waiting to hear from her show, and I help her bead, because that's what she's been doing with European beads. And I said, I've got these great beads from Africa that we could mix. And this is how it started. And what fascinates me most is the history of the kind of beads that they are. So if we start with Christina.
Can we go to,
Can we
let us
do
go to
that?
a commercial
Oh,
first.
great.
And then we'll come
Okay.
back and take the time for
Okay, great.
Be right back. Welcome back. We are chatting with the CCH founder. She's got a line of jewelry called Banshee Face, and when we left off, we just started to talk about not only the jewelry, but there's a significance to each piece and a story.
Some of them have great stories and great significance.
Okay.
I mean, the idea that I love is that the traded bead, it keeps going around. It gets passed on from person to person.
Like currency.
Human beings were traded for these beads, so there's a wonderful sense of the life and history of these beads. And Christina is wearing pretty much all African amber and silver. And silver in the northern part of Africa is considered protection. And you can run around and see a barefoot boy with absolutely nothing on, but he's got a bit of silver on him. It's a ring, it's an amulet, something, because it's considered protection, the protective element. And this is a fairly common cross. It was very popular, known as the Agadir cross, was the most popular one. But each village makes their cross. So everyone has a different design, and they always stamp and sign them. And this one does look like a person.
You like this stuff, Everett? What do you think?
I think it's beautiful.
You have a men's line?
I do. I didn't bring it here because it's not as flashy, and I didn't think it would show up.
Okay.
And also, just the ambers, the women wore them in their hair. And so they would have these amber plugs in their hair, and they were very much into adornment.
Wow.
And so I've kind of reduced the amount of jewelry there is, and I've made the shoulder necklaces because it's the shaman necklace.
I've not seen that. It's very nice. How about
And
these?
Candace's
For
necklace?
Candace?
Well,
Although you gotta show your cross. I mean,
Okay, this is an Ethiopian cross.
Yeah.
And they're always highly decorated inside, which is really wonderful. And this is a white piece of agate from the Cameroon. But I want to show you this, because this is truly a female necklace. They believe in a lot of Africa that carnelian is the woman's stone. It's red like it's blood, and they hope that it keeps you pure and your blood clean. So you'll see this a lot. It's called tanfouk. It was tanfouk. Yes. It was originally worn by men, and now the women have taken it over completely.
All right. We do that a lot. Okay.
It's funny how things stay the same in many cultures. Yeah. And this?
Now, these are clay beads from Mali. And what's wonderful about these beads, that they're actually the spinnet bead, where they, the spindle bead rather, where they have the bead and the wool attached to their toe, and this is actually how they weave. Have you ever seen those hand weavers when they're just going? This is just the weight. So I took them out and I just made this sort of loom? Yes.
You know, they did that in Maui too.
Did they have that
yes,
also?
A lot of their leis they would attach to their toe and they would braid it.
Exactly. So
Is this a
native
necklace?
people, indigenous people, yeah. But this is, I think it was pinned down.
So
It's
colorful.
really colorful,
Oh, I
and
see.
I try to
Big
put in all the colors that I could find.
Okay.
Very African, and Africa loves colors, so this is a true representative.
And lots of silver in this one.
And lots of silver in this one. This is originally covered in leather, and just the silver peeping out.
Mm-hmm.
And this is a Tuareg prayer box. So they have a prayer inside, then they seal the box.
Oh.
And when they're traveling through the desert, you'll see them there. Have them. Oops, sorry. They have them right here. So the prayer is still inside, and I'm sure it is like, God be with you through my safe travels through my journey and so on.
Here, here on the end.
Is just gorgeous.
Now, the amber one on the end, do I have to stand over there?
Go anywhere you want.
Okay, these are sand cast beads. These are bottles found by Africans, melted down, made glass powder, and then they remake the bead in the imitation of the European bead that they saw and could not afford.
Huh.
And then this is just a finding, a European finding that I found to add to this amber and silver. So
If you would
I
like
love
more-
mixing the two.
I want to tell everybody if you can find more information on CCH's jewelry line, Banji Face.
Yes.
Banji Face. Call
Toll-free number.
Toll free 1-888-BANJI BANJI 99 or 1-888-226-5499. And CCH will be at the International Gem and Jewelry Show May the 30th through June the 1st. So go there and see. You should see it in person. You should feel it. It's really wonderful.
Thank
Beautiful
you.
stuff.
You know,
Thank
I'd love
you.
for you to stay for this next
Yeah.
segment. Hold on. What guys,
Yeah,
hold up. If you could stay for the next segment, because we're going to meet a woman here who's come under quite a bit of controversy. She received a heart and lung transplant and believes she's taken on the personality of that donor.
I understand.
Do you? You jump in on this. We'll take a break. We're going to get her story right after this. Take a break. Welcome back. Our next guest has an amazing story about a life-changing experience that started with a heart and lung transplant. To get the story, let's go to the source. Claire Sylvia, welcome to the show. Glad you could be with us.
Thank you. Nice to have you here. First, let's start with why you needed to have a lung and heart transplant. What happened?
Well, I had a rare disease, a lung disease, primary pulmonary hypertension that put pressure on the right side of my heart, and the heart went into failure. And this started in '82, and by '88, I was very, very sick on oxygen, using a wheelchair. And the final hope was a transplant.
And that was in 1988?
I had the transplant.
Had a heart and lung, which
heart
is
and
rare.
lungs, both.
Both lungs?
Yeah.
Yeah. Had one been done before that?
No, all together.
No, but I mean another operation similar to that ever been performed?
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
They had been doing them since 1982, but nobody was able to get them done in New England. You had to go to Pittsburgh or Stanford or someplace else in the country. I was the first one to have it done in New England.
In New England?
Yeah.
Okay.
So, unfortunately, someone had to die, and then but you received. You found it was a male heart.
It was a male heart.
and lung.
Yeah. And lungs. Yeah.
So it's now in your system.
Yes.
You wake up,
Right.
new heart, new lungs.
Right.
And what hits you?
Well, the people from the press came in and said, now that you've had this amazing miracle, what do you want more than anything? And what I said was, I'd die for a beer right now.
You die for a beer.
Yeah.
What? When you woke up?
Yeah, and I'm a couple of days after the transplant.
Right.
I'm not a beer drinker, and I was mortified because it was such a profound question, and it was a flip answer, and it wasn't something I would say.
Sure.
It didn't seem to come from me, and I couldn't retract it. And then
But you craved it.
I craved it. I really had a yen for it, and the thought was, well, maybe my donor was a beer drinker. But then I let it go, and I thought, no, that's too radical.
Did you really make that connection that early?
Yeah, I did. I thought, well, why would I have said that? What does that mean? What could that be?
Any other incidences where you
Any
had
other
similar things like that happen?
Yeah, soon after, when I was out of the hospital and I was able to drive for the first time, I found myself going to a Kentucky Fried Chicken place and getting chicken nuggets, and something I don't ordinarily do. I didn't really question it at the time, I just did it. And it was stored away someplace at the back of my head. It wasn't until 2 years later when I was with my donor family, the first meeting I had, sitting in their living room, and they were comparing foods and changes and so forth with me, corroborating things about their son. They said to me his favorite food was chicken nuggets, and when he died, he had them in his motorcycle jacket, and they had to pull them out.
Wow.
And that's when I said, oh my God, and I made the connection.
Well, you say you were in the living room with your donor family. You looked up your donor family because they don't readily give this information out of hospitals.
No,
Why did you-
I was led to find them. They would not give me the information. I wrote anonymous letters, several.
But why did you want to find the donor family? Because of these different things that were happening to you?
Yes.
That you felt compelled?
Yes, and I wanted to know who they were. I was curious, and I felt that maybe there could be some kind of healing process for them and for me to bring comfort, just to know.
Sure.
But what was leading me to find them and how I finally found them were through dreams. The first vivid dream I had was 6 months after the surgery, and I was with a young man in the dream who was my good friend, and his name was Tim L.
Tim
and
L?
L, like the letter L?
Well, I don't use the last name. There was a last name in the dream,
okay.
but
All right.
I protect the family. I don't give their last name. And we kissed in the dream, and I felt that I inhaled him into me and knew that we would be together forever. And when I awakened, I felt for sure this symbolized my integrating the heart and lungs within me, and that this must be my donor with that name. I tried to verify it. I called the transplant coordinator who knew, and I told her the dream and the name, and there was a moment
Must
of
have freaked her out.
It
If
did.
you come up with a name that she knows is to be
She told me later
true.
it freaked her out, but she couldn't tell me because it was just a dream. What she said to me at the time, there was a moment of silence, and then she said, "Don't try to find out. You can't know that. Just forget it." And I did, and it wasn't until another number of months later that I was led, as I talk about in my book, by some new strange man that came into my life, and we finally found the obituary, and the name was Tim L.
It was the same name you had dreamt about.
Same name.
All right, so once you found out the name, you became obsessed with finding out who this person was, the family?
Well, there I had the obituary. It was real now. There was the family of my heart on a piece of paper with all the sisters and brothers and the names and the town and so forth. And it took me a while to let that percolate and see. It was so emotional. It was a shock what to do with it.
Can I hold you there? Because I want to find out what happened from there, because I know there is a camp of thought from doctors in the medical establishment that says, I don't think what you say is true.
That's
so I want,
right.
I want your take on it. We'll get more into this with Claire Sylvia right after this. We're with Claire Sylvia, who after a heart-lung transplant took on the traits, she says, of her donor. And when we left, I posed a question that's not unfamiliar to you at all, which is, you don't know what you're talking about, correct? And the medical establishment has said what to you?
Don't even think about it. We've changed parts. We've given you a new heart. Just go out and be normal.
They're in the lungs themselves, the heart. There is nothing in them that could
DNA?
tie back a memory,
DNA.
right? You call it what?
I don't know what to call it. I feel it. I feel the presence. I've been living with the presence of another. I feel that when you take such a massive tissue as a heart and lungs, which is imbued with the last vestiges of that personality trait through DNA, through cells, whatever, and you put it into someone else, you're taking like a floppy disk and putting it with a program into another machine, and that will take on the characteristics once you program it. And the program, I'm sensitive, I'm a dancer, I'm in touch with my body and feelings, and all these things started coming through. So I feel that I've had some kind of spirit come through, that we're all one, we're all part of each other, and we just go on.
Does it strike you as something spiritual as opposed to physical?
I think it's both. I don't know where one ends and where the other begins. I think it is spiritual, yes.
Have you contacted anyone who's had the same kind of operation that you do, and are they experiencing the same thing?
Because of my search and quest to find out what this incredible journey was all about, I started a transplant support group with my dream therapist, Robbie Bosnack, with other people who have had similar transplants. And they all feel as I do that they're living with the
having
presence.
McNuggets and beer?
No, they have
Okay,
different
because
things.
that's still was his.
They have other things.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did any doctor believe you?
Well, Bernie Siegel has written a foreword to my book, A Change of Heart, and he believes in the mind-body. This is what he talks about in his lectures. And there are other doctors, yes, that I know.
This sounds like a
that do
fascinating
believe.
episode of ER. Have you ever come across a storyline like this? Or?
Never, but it is fascinating.
But there's been a lot of research indicating that the mind is not just in your brain, but in every cell of your body.
In the Eastern culture, they believe this, that the organ hold memory, different memories in different parts of the body.
Does the family, excuse me, does his family, the donor's family, believe that he lives on now through you? Or does the family say, hey, put this to rest. Don't keep bringing this back. He's gone.
Both, exactly both. I was very embraced. It was a very loving reunion. But through the years now, it's been 9 years since the transplant, but 7 years since I've been in relationship with them. The parents and I are very close, and they feel that the mother of my heart talks about
the mother of your heart. Interesting.
Yeah,
the way you put it.
Yeah. The spirit of her son lives on in me, and that is what has, as I believe, led me to find them. The children feel the same way that you said, the opposite way. They don't really want to be involved at this point. It's
Children
too painful
meaning who?
for them.
What children?
His siblings. There were about 7 of them.
The sister of the heart.
Okay.
The sisters and brothers, yeah.
I can understand that because then the focus should be with the living, technically, and they might feel that he has passed on, and yet there's still all this focus around him.
So Claire, you said something interesting on the break about how you believe now that you've acknowledged this and that he may very well be living within you, you have let it go.
Yeah, I feel more fully integrated now. It's a very long process. I think people don't realize that with these transplant surgeries, you recover physically in practically minutes from being a kind of a vegetable, not being able to do something.
Prior to the surgery, you were incapacitated to an extent.
To getting up and riding a bicycle, as I explained to you before. But psychologically and emotionally, it's so traumatic. You can't assimilate all of this.
Sure.
That your heart and lungs are taken out, and there's a mourning process you go through, the loss of these organs, and then you have to integrate somebody else's who has
Could you quickly give me
died.
your prognosis? How long have you been living with the new heart and lungs?
9 years.
9 years. And how long as the donor, how long has the person who's had this operation lived the longest? Does that make sense? Who's living?
I know there were a few people now living 13, 14 years.
And how many years for you?
9.
Do you feel that you have 4 years left, or do you look way beyond that?
I like to look way beyond that. I never looked at statistics, or I wouldn't be here right now.
Well, now she's eating Kentucky Fried Chicken, drinking beer, and riding motorcycles.
You're doing all right.
Yeah.
Claire, Sylvia, thank you so much.
Next, find out how you can win a nice and easy makeover and a trip to the set of Home and Family. And Everett Harp.
Everett Harp. I hear him. Next. He's a guy who's played with the president, and he's here with us. Everett Harp. Yes, sir.
Welcome. Welcome. Good to see you back again.
Did you like playing? It was the first inauguration in '93, right?
Quite a while back, yeah.
What a stamp of approval, or how'd you see it? How'd you take it?
Well, it was a great experience, and it was something I'll be able to pass down to my kids. And my daughter would go to school and say, "Oh, that's the man that works with my dad."
Do we have a picture of that? Did we show it? Yeah, you just did.
Yeah, it was a great experience. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah. Have you been in contact with him since?
No.
You don't hang out?
Yeah, well, occasionally he might come by for some barbecue or something. But it was funny for I think the first couple of years after that, and a lot of the cities when I was on tour, he would wind up being in those cities.
Same place.
Yeah, it was really kind of weird. They would cordon off the area for a couple of miles, and in that area, and they would take up all the hotels, and I would happen to be playing in that area, and it would kill a night or two.
Sure.
So I'd tell somebody to get a message to them, please stop following me around.
Yeah, I don't know you that well. I don't know President Clinton that well, but I'm saying the guy's kind of hanging on you. He's a wannabe, is what he is. He wants to be you.
Riding my coattail.
That's what I'm saying. What are you going to do for us today?
I'm going to do the title cut from my latest release, Marvin Gaye's What's Going On.
It's a tribute to Marvin Gaye.
Actually, this album is a remake of his album, What's Going On, from beginning to the end.
Has he inspired you from the beginning?
Well, you know what? I was, no. I have to be very honest. I've always been an avid Marvin Gaye fan, but I was not as familiar with this record as I am now. And this record really changed my views on Marvin Gaye as far as going back and acquiring all of his previous
Isn't it great you can stumble upon somebody that you never looked at
in a totally different light, put it this way. I looked up to him as a great singer, and I was a fan of his music, but never really knew how deep he was. So this record really opened my eyes.
And we get to hear it. Everett Harp. Take it away, Everett. us how you dance with. That's truly your partner, isn't it?
Yeah, I've been doing it all my life.
Yeah, well, you've been doing it great.
Thank you.
Yeah, Everett Hart.
New CD.
When we come back, we're going to rescue Christina one more time. The house is going to fall on her. That's not right.
We need the CD. What's the name of the CD?
Chatting here with CCH founder. She's coming up with a great idea. She goes, why don't we bring on all the nurses from ER on the show? So,
I love that.
look into that.
Yeah, because everybody's got a different role to play.
I love that. We would love that.
Thanks for the story. Thanks for
Thank
the jewelry.
you.
You know
Thanks
you got to
for coming.
run.
It was a pleasure.
Nice seeing you.
to come
again.
by your house.
Thank
open
you.
anytime.
Come visit us again.
Even though it looks pretty
Little
bad
messy
right
now.
Yes, it does look
Take
bad.
care.
CCH
Okay,
founder.
thanks, Cece.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All right, the Urban Search and Rescue Team is a highly specialized branch of the fire department. They get victims out of the trickiest situations like an earthquake or a shattered building, explosions, you name it. Captain Steve Ruda heads up the Urban Search and Rescue Team 27, U-Star 27, and he's here to tell us how they execute the dangerous rescue missions. Welcome.
Thanks
Official
very much.
title? You bet.
So explain to us on what some of the missions you've been called on.
Well, confined space is certainly one of the, for example, if a team goes into cleaning the tanks of some sort and people get overcome by fumes or bad atmosphere, we have a person down inside of a tank, a confined space. There could be a trench where maybe some workers were put in pipelines and now we have a collapse.
Right.
Fire department is called now to unearth those folks and get them out. Also on a lot of our cliffs around Los Angeles, Mulholland Drive, sunsets, people come off those cliffs, low angle, high angle rescues. Out in the San Fernando Valley, which is 20 miles north of downtown, you've got the Chatsworth Cliffs where climbers go out there and try to climb or hang glide.
Didn't you play a big role in the Northridge earthquake?
Yeah.
Absolutely. In the Northridge earthquake, firefighters were used at the Northridge Meadows for confined space, going in and rescuing a lot of the folks that were trapped still inside the apartments.
Go ahead and roll it.
We have some tape of that. Let's take a look. What are we looking at here?
As you can see, this is the shopping mall over in the Northridge Mall, and teams from Urban Search and Rescue and also first responders, so firefighters have this ability to not only as we in Urban Search and Rescue, but first responding teams, so firefighters are trained how to do this. What they did is they made rescues out of this collapsed parking structure.
Wow.
Now, are you called out of the state too?
You know, in FEMA, which is the Federal Emergency Management Agency, has over 27 teams nationally. Here in California, we have about 6 or 7 teams that rotate their responsibility to be called to natural disasters.
Did you go to
in
Oklahoma?
the United States? We in Los Angeles, we did not go to Oklahoma, but our brothers in LA County Fire Department went to Oklahoma, and they came back with stories that were just harrowing.
Oh, sure. Can you tell us about some of the equipment that you use here in the rescue?
Some of the equipment that you'll see here, this is firefighter Fred Maglona, one of our
Hi, Fred.
USAR experts. The neat thing about our guys is that they've gone on their own time and their own effort and their own money to get some of the training that you've seen today.
Wow.
The department, under budgetary cuts and whatnot, finds it hard to get some of these tools and equipment, but you'll see a lot of the things that will have to be used is through hydraulics. This is a concrete cutting chainsaw that we have that's able to be cut through concrete, and we won't be using that later on the building that we have to rescue you from.
Okay.
But a lot of other tools, sophisticated listening devices.
Yeah, I found that interesting. Listening and camera devices. Tell me how you use those.
Well, obviously, when you take a building and you collapse it under an earthquake or an explosion, like for example Oklahoma City, where you had hundreds of people trapped but not knowing where,
right.
You can isolate an area by putting listening devices on the concrete and then cordon off those particular areas.
He has a monitor strapped to his chest with I assume, some sort of camera?
Right.
This is a microphone, yeah.
Firefighter Tom Kitahata, also from USAR 27. Tom, why don't you explain what you have there?
What we have is a search cam. This allows us to get into a void space without actually taking our body into the space and endangering us or further endangering the victim.
You can see what's going on in there?
Exactly.
Does this telescope out?
Yes, it does. And what it does is it allows us to, we'll put a hole into a concrete structure, maybe a slab. We're able to bore a hole through with the chainsaw, the concrete cutting chainsaw, put this in and look around.
Wow.
So,
and that's the same thing?
Camera.
A lot of sophisticated devices that firefighters, you can't give us enough training when it comes to urban search and rescue procedures. We want as much as we can get because people are depending their lives on our ability to use these tools and have the knowledge to do the job.
How important are the dogs that you use?
Well, certainly a dog is a tool, and being able to have everything at our hands is good to have.
Now, behind us we have a simulation of an earthquake
Let me
hit
get out of the
house.
way here.
And describe what we're going to do with Christina today.
Well, this is, for those of us who live in Southern California, especially for myself, I live
That
in
looked
Northridge.
like my bedroom.
Yeah, it looked like many of our homes.
Sure.
This was a typical thing. It was 4:30 in the morning, and most of the people were caught in bed.
Sure.
And this particular room is a wall that has fallen down onto the bed. And in the Northridge Meadows, unfortunately, we found many of the victims that passed away didn't even have a chance to get out of bed.
You never saw them.
Yikes.
Right.
I mean, you look in here, you wouldn't know there's anybody in there.
No, and so that's why we are able to use the trained search dogs, the cameras that some of the firefighters showed you today, the listening devices, because there's going to be somebody in there that needs our help.
All right, we're going to take a break. It'll be as real as it can possibly be without the earth shaking. The rescue begins after this. Welcome back. We are with Captain Steve Ruta and his urban search and rescue team. They have just arrived on scene. The house has been hit by an earthquake. Christina is trapped somewhere in the bedroom underneath a fallen wall, and we will let the professionals go to work and bring Christina back to safety. Captain, you can take us through from this moment on.
Yes, what we're doing here is that we need to gather as much information about the home, who lives here, how many people might be inside. So what we have the advantage of Dorisa Teller and her dog, Bella. And she's going to go ahead and release Bella into the structure. And Bella is a 5-year-old border collie, and she's going to go search. So listen to some of her commands.
Sure.
Go search. Where is she? Find her. Go on, go search. Bella.
So Bella will look around the room and just kind of hit on the scent of human beings.
She's trained to pick up the scent.
Exactly, and as you see now in the room, she's picking up the scent of possible trapped victims inside the bedroom here, and you'll see that. Now, once she acts,
barking, saying she's found
once she barks, now that means to Dorisa, firefighter, tell her that there is somebody, a human being in there. Whether they're alive or not, she's not able to tell us. So now she's telling, show me where it is.
Wow.
So now firefighter tellers are saying we've got a specific area. So now our firefighter team now, Tommy Kidhata and Fred Magalona now will go inside with their search cam and be able now to be specific.
You know, that's interesting. It's a simulation for us, but for Dorisa, the dog, it's the real deal.
It is the real deal for her, and the dog is being rewarded now. It's worked on a series of behavior and whatnot.
Anybody in here? Your team has the camera equipment?
Right. Tom and Fred are working their way in through the rubble and trying to make communication with the victims.
Your leg is it
and they're
pinned?
trying to
Is it
communicate.
hurt, or?
That picture that you're seeing now is the camera that's on the
pretty much free. Okay.
Tom's equipment.
What we're going to do is we're going to
believe it or not, during the Earthridge
partition that's fallen down on top of you,
quake,
okay?
this is how we found
And then if we need your help, we're going to ask you, okay? But pretty much let us do the work, and if we're doing anything that's not going to help you get out, let us know, okay? All right, here we go.
We'll be right with you.
Those are some of the things that the camera will pick up.
And they want communication. In this case, they're fortunate enough to have someone to communicate with.
Right, and even there on the camera, it also has a microphone on the
laying on her side, on her left lateral.
Hear her
and communicate
At least
back.
maybe find out if she's breathing
exactly.
or a wheeze, anything.
Exactly, and that brings comfort to the rescuers as well.
Sure.
So it's kind of now they're going to put in a situation, a safe environment.
How you doing, Christina?
Right. And remember, we're doing this. We're doing this in
there you are.
amidst aftershocks.
Okay.
That's right.
So we're going to try to freeze some of the stuff from around you.
So there's a tension to begin with, not knowing what's happening next.
Exactly, and they say that being able to keep your cool amongst you when everyone else has lost their calmness is a sure sign of leadership.
What you don't hear is maybe the crying or the whining or the pain that would naturally be following a moment like this.
Exactly, and now the confined space that they're in now could be anywhere to 36 inches to 12
Here we go. Go ahead and lift.
Right.
That they have
Keep
a
going,
heavy-duty
Tommy.
wall.
Keep going.
What they've taken
Keep going.
equipment now and
Keep going.
using
That's good. She looks free.
Airlifting bag.
It looks like right now she's on top of this rug, and we can pull her out on the rug, okay?
Okay.
All right, we'll do that. All right, here we go.
Wait, hold on. We got to get the litter basket in.
Okay. Yeah, we'll use the scab. That'd be fine. Okay, hold on 1 second, Christina, okay?
This is realistic.
How you feeling?
Okay.
Okay. Give me 1 second. Once we get the basket in here, we'll get you going. Skid?
A lot of teamwork effort.
Bring in the helmet.
So what goes in now? What is that?
Now this is, we want to keep the patient from receiving further damage.
Oh, they're going to put them in a little basket.
Further in. This is called a skid.
It's hot under here.
We're going to get you right out, okay?
And my leg is killing me.
Is there anybody else in the house with you?
No, everybody get out.
Oh, okay, good. Here we go.
Now, Christina is doing a great job of championing to be in this kind of a space because that's about as real as you can get.
Here we go.
Believe it or not, we found that the safe spots in bedrooms were not in the door jams, the door area, but near the bed. Because as you can see, as that
Do me a
wall
favor, when we
fell,
pull you out, close your eyes.
the bed actually caused
And then
a void
just try not to
space.
inhale too much, and we'll have you right out, just so you don't breathe in any dust. Get
this all set.
All right.
That's where you should have all your earthquake preparedness
Ready?
equipment.
All ready.
Here we
Hold
go.
on,
Close your
Christina.
eyes. Here we go.
Ah! All right.
Okay, there you go. Okay, then we have a stretcher that we're going to put you on top of, okay? It's going to be wrapped up around you, and you're going to be very safe once we get you on top of this, okay?
Okay.
So don't be afraid.
Will they try to assess physical damage?
Yes, all firefighters in Los Angeles are either paramedic, certified, or EMT 1D, emergency medical technicians. And we have the skills and the ability to make an assessment of the patient and do life-saving techniques on them before we transport her.
Ready?
Because sometimes just even moving them, we might increase the damage.
Okay, one.
All right. Oh, my leg. Okay, my leg is
All right,
hurting.
is it your lower leg or your upper leg?
Yeah,
Small
okay, hold on.
legs, you'll see that were the hardest to deal with were the cry.
Very good. Okay.
We're coming to you. Hold on. Hang in there. Hang in there. Like at the Northridge parking lot, the firefighters
Get you all
stayed
set
with
up,
them
all right?
And the man said, please stay with
Hard
me
parts
and
are
pray.
done. We're going to get you out of here now, okay? You're going to be fine.
And pray, he said.
Is anything else hurting you?
No, just my leg.
Good, okay.
What they're doing now is they've made an assessment.
What this is going to do is going to keep you nice and compact. So
Slide her up just a tad.
Okay. How's that?
And be able to bring her outside the window. Now, obviously, we want to use the best source.
The easiest exit.
Right, and
How you
right
doing?
now for this particular scenario, we have the worst case
You did it
scenario.
all the
time? Right.
And we're on a cliff hillside. Half the hill is either Sherman Oaks. Some of the houses slid down the hill, and all was left.
Yeah,
was
this is a
bedroom.
real tough area to begin with.
And as you see now from your camera angles, what we only have here is a bedroom. The rest of the hill's fallen away.
So they can't go out a double door to a patio. You're going, 5 feet from a cliff here.
We're going to come out this window, and then we have firefighters here, Tommy Haas and Dave Navarro from 27s, who are going to use a technique of a lowering system using an
Hey,
urban
Christina,
search and
we're gonna put
rescue
this helmet
ropes
on just to protect you a little
lower
bit,
her
all right?
down the hillside here to a waiting
Gonna go out
ambulance
this window and
or an
down
air
the
ambulance
hillside?
or even a triage area that we'd be able to help.
You're going to tell me we're going down a hill?
She doesn't want to go down a hill.
Michael!
Just a little hill.
Now they've got a helmet on her as well, huh?
Exactly. What we want to
Is this
do
in
is
case you drop me?
Well, no, it's
package her in a
you
way
don't move
that-
around too much. Okay?
She's going to be fine.
No further injury.
Hey! Take me out the door!
But to hear this sort of attitude coming from her means she's in pretty good spirits.
Yes. They're conscious and
My
alert.
neck! Oh, look out for the door!
Okay, we got it.
And believe me, this is pretty
Okay, let's slide her
realistic.
out, Fred.
Okay, Tommy.
Very realistic.
Hey!
Oh, she's not liking this at all.
You know,
job.
some of the
Okay, that's
people that when we went in later after the earthquake and
How you doing?
give us little map.
Hanging
I don't
in
want to
there?
go out a window. I want to go out a door.
Well, the doors are all collapsed, and that's the only way we're going to be able to get you out. Okay, if we go
I'm
head
going to
first,
kill
that
Woody,
way,
I
Tommy.
swear.
Okay.
I don't want to go out the
get
door.
that stuff
I don't
up this
wanna go
way.
out Hello?
Here we go.
Hello?
You're going to be
Go out
fine,
the
Christina.
window.
We're going to get you right out.
We had one woman that all she wanted.
That's not going to go.
She said all
That's
she
good, Tommy.
wanted was a blue-looking blanket.
Really?
And it was very exciting because the firefighters went in, tried to look for it. They
What we'll
found
do-
it. They brought it out to her, and they said, "If that was the only thing that
Ready?
you wanted, why
One,
was that?"
two,
She said, "That was my hoopah, a canopy in which I was married under
Yeah, the hoopah, sure.
75 years ago."
Wow.
And that was important to her, and therefore was important to the firefighters.
Sure. There is a mental game that has to be played here.
Absolutely, and you know, the firefighters, these people mean a lot to us. They expect us to be well trained and to have the knowledge to do this job. Now we're taking her outside the window
Here she
now
comes.
and passing her off to another set of firefighters who are getting ready to package her now and take her to the cliff's edge.
Okay. Now once she's at the edge here, so we back up. We'll give her room. And now from here they're going to harness her and take her down?
Right, this is the only way in which the best way to get her off this cliff, and using the urban search and rescue, you can see that we made a bomb-proof anchor, what we call here.
What do you mean by bomb-proof?
That means that it'll take a bomb to loosen it.
I see.
And sometimes we're not able to hook into a tree or a pilaster or concrete or the house.
So they have this fixed to the ground here.
Fixed to the ground, and it's a lowering system. And firefighter Fred Magdalena is here, and he is on the lowering system.
time, and then we'll have you down on the ground in no time at all.
As you see that the firefighters are reassuring the...
Explain to her. Is it important to explain to the victim what's happening at all times?
Absolutely. We do this quite regularly, whether it's using the jaws of life in a rescue, telling the people what they are going to be experiencing, the noise or the feelings that they're going to be feeling.
So she's harnessed at one end. She's now being
lowered over the
side of a hill.
And the firefighters are going to have control of the speed and be able to lower her down the side to a waiting rescue below.
Okay. So she'll go to the vehicle, but she's got a little slide to go down in the meantime.
Right, but it's all controlled by the firefighters that have the capability of lowering her down from the top.
Obviously, they can control the tension and bring her down slowly.
Exactly.
Hold on one second, take one rack out.
Christina, you all right?
Yeah, but my leg is killing me.
Your leg is killing you.
We're going to have to give her a Medal of Valor for just going through this training procedure today. So as you can see, this is a realistic drill. I think our firefighters are getting as much out of it as Christina.
I mean, they're getting worked out here under these conditions. It's a really hot day in Southern California.
Okay.
She was really stuck under a fallen wall.
Right. And so now the rescue is is being completed, but now we also have to get the rescuers safely down also.
Sure.
So what we're just showing you now is
it's important not to have your rescuers hurt because they can't do her any good if they're hurt.
When we get on scene, we're able to talk about what we're going to do.
Okay.
And still, as you see, they're communicating with them down the hill.
Right. Hey, Christina, is there anything you'd like to say to the firefighters?
Leave it for you. Okay.
Hey, Christina. She can't hear me. I know she's got something planned for you. When you save her life, Christina's going to go back into the kitchen, I believe, and reward you in the way she can do best. Yeah, I'll let you fill that in. Captain Ruta, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Gentlemen, thank you. We'll take a break. We've saved another life. Urban Rescue Search, Rescue 27. Good job. Welcome back. Man, you know, I called Diane Thomas the MacGyver, but I think the real MacGyver is Christina Ferrari right here. Way to go.
I can't believe you have the cooking segment now. You dragged me down the hill, and now I'm cooking?
It's you're a giver. You want to reward these firemen, do you not?
I have to tell you, they make me want to cry. I mean, I'm not kidding. I'm telling you, what they do is so unbelievable. They have such good hearts, and they're such good people to go out and save people every well, not every day, but in emergencies. You guys are incredible. I want to thank you so much.
You know, you were stuck in a room under a wall, and I was sitting next to the captain, and the captain could not stress to me how important it was that your safety, even though this was a mock drill, was important, and the connection between but the connection between the victim and the rescuer is so important.
They talk to me through the whole thing. Yeah, and I have a date. Another date. I have another date Saturday night.
So
okay.
You're not going to date them, but you're going to reward them
I'm
how?
going to reward them because now
he says they've had people fall in love.
Really?
Oh, I wouldn't
Is that
doubt
true?
Yeah.
The connection?
You saved a
I know.
life, yeah.
That is true.
Can I go next?
Yes, you could go. Jamie's standing
You
line,
can send
girls.
somebody flowers, but, you know, save them from a burning building.
I know.
Hello? That shows a little love.
Well, you have a little attachment there, I understand. What?
You want to acknowledge a couple of...
Don't you have 2 Medal of Honor?
Right, we do. Recently, Tom Kitahata and Fred Magdalena.
Tom, raise your hand. Tom?
Were recipients of the California State Firefighters Association Medal of Valor for
Thank you, guys.
actions.
Would you like some water and juice? You're kind of all high.
Something to drink?
Don't need water? Let's get them some water. So they had to lug me down the hill. They need some water. Okay. Now all of the firemen on our show today were very excited, I think, when we told them that we were going to make fallen chocolate cake with butterscotch sauce. It's a little thing that we wanted to do, and they got even more excited when they found out I made extra just for them. So you're going to get a whole bunch just for you guys. Okay, so to prepare it in a double boiler, right here, this is a double boiler, and you put it on top of a pan that has water in it. You're going to melt together 9 ounces of bittersweet chocolate and 1 stick of unsalted butter until it's nice and smooth like this. You see how nice and smooth this is? You're going to remove it from the heat, and to it you're going to stir in 1/2 cup of sugar.
Where's this recipe from?
We found it in a book. Where did we find it, Jamie?
We found it in one of the new summer magazines where we were reading about how chocolate is coming back again, and of course this dense fallen cake.
Coming back?
Has it ever left, really?
Never left.
Was it hard to find on the grocery shelves?
No, they got into the low-fat thing, and now, you know, fat's coming back. And
we burn off a lot of
enjoy it.
calories. We need to put it right back in.
Exactly.
Next, we're going to take 5 eggs, and we're going to separate them. You separate the yolks from the white, and you're going to beat the egg whites with 1/4 cup of sugar to form a very stiff peak. And here are the stiff peaks like that. See how stiff that is? Very stiff. Now, our egg yolks, what you're going to do is add them one at a time to the chocolate
And
mixture.
why do you add one at a time?
You do that one at a time. If you could hold that for me, because it's twirling around here.
Actually, you know, that strikes me as funnier.
I need help here.
You need to help the bowl. Thanks.
Because if you throw it, this is a little bit warm, and if you throw it in all at once, your egg yolks are going to cook, and you're going to get scrambled eggs. So you put them in a little bit at a time.
You know, a lot of times I ask these questions for the benefit of those watching that don't know, but I do.
You do. Next, we're going to whisk in 3 tablespoons of flour, 2 tablespoons of cocoa powder.
That's a good year.
Yeah, and 1 teaspoon of vanilla.
You can't have enough vanilla.
Oh, I love vanilla.
You ever just drink this stuff straight?
Yeah.
Oh,
no, I do. I like
man.
it. Here, you do that.
Come to Papa. Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Look at that. That's what, you know, that's a, I'll be stopping talking.
All right, all right. Now, what we're going to do right now is take just about a little bit of that, like a 1/4 cup, and put that into there like,
now, why do you do
like
that?
this. That will, so it's not so dense and it'll come up much puffier. You just turn it around like that. It makes the chocolate not as dense.
Exactly.
All right.
I should have had
It
some of
gives it
that
a little bit of a fluff to it. Okay. All right. Now, after we've done that, we're going to finally fold in the rest of the egg whites like so. And we're going to fold these in thusly.
So
now,
to a flourless chocolate cake, right?
Flourless chocolate cake, right. Jamie, now, you're going to spray the pan with a flour. This it's a baking spray. It's called Baker's Joy, and it has the oil and the flour, or the butter and the flour right in it. Right there.
Where do you want it?
Just spray. You have to spray a non-stick pan, an 8-inch square pan, with the non-cooking spray. That's beautiful. Look, and show everybody. You can see that the flour and everything is right in it. Rather than just taking your butter and then taking the flour, it makes a big mess. That's much better.
May we take a break?
I don't wanna.
All right, let's just stay.
Okay, we're gonna try. I guess we are. Okay.
We'll be right back and finish the butterscotch sauce, which goes on top. Take a break.
Here it is. We're going to bake our cake at 350 degrees for 40 to 45 minutes till the toothpick comes out clean. You cool it completely so it sinks like this. Woody said all his cakes turn out like this, and that's why they call it the fallen chocolate cake.
Oh, you went in with that idea.
Yeah, we went in with this idea, but now we have a little tape for the sauce, so we're going to roll this tape for you. It's very simple in a small saucepan. Right now, we're going to roll it. You're going to combine 1 cup of sugar with a 1/4 cup of light corn syrup and 3 tablespoons of water. And you're going to place it over medium heat to bring to a boil so you'll be able to dissolve the sugar. When the mix comes to a boil, listen very carefully, just like that, stop stirring it with the spoon. You have to swish it like Jamie's doing, because otherwise it will condense and get hard. You want to swirl. Swirl, swirl, swirl. Do not stir, okay? All right, now we're going to allow the mixture to come to a golden boil until it becomes a golden caramel color. Reheat. And then you're going to add a 1/4 cup of butter and 1 melted butter. Thank you, Jamie. 1 teaspoon of cider vinegar. That's going to stop it from condensing a little, to stop it. So it's have a beautiful, nice, thick sauce. The butter is melted. It's okay to add the spoon. Finally, you're going to add a 1/2 cup of heavy cream with 2 teaspoons of vanilla. All right, and that's you heat 1 more minute, and you stir it, combine really well. Now you're going to cool your sauce. You know what you're going to do? I Rubbermaid. These are the best. This is for everything. So this is my trusty, dusty Rubbermaid container. That thing, I can store it away, and then when you're ready to use it, then look, you just there. Okay, now we have it right over here. Guys, look, here's the sauce over here. What I'm going to do is great firefighters. There's our sauce.
Oh, I like that butter.
Look at that.
So that warm or cold, too.
Wow.
With some fresh berries. There you are, guys. Let's eat. There you go.
Wow.
Okay, that's it.
There you go.
Go ahead.
Great job. Enjoy that. You worked hard today, gentlemen. Evie Rosen tells us how she's warming up America and how you can get involved. You'll love this story. We'll take a break.
Want milk?
Right back.
Want some milk? Let's get some milk.
it's the Search and Brownie team at work, headed up by Captain Candace.
Captain Candace. Yes.
And, I think it's a hit. What do you say, guys? A hit? Yeah. As it works in life, you have come to the rescue.
But I want them to be part of our official Home and Family, you guys.
Which means?
Yeah, which means you can come up anytime and eat here. Anytime. Your day off, come on down.
All right.
Then we should have Firehouse cooking, too.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah,
you
that'd
come
be
back
great.
and cook for us. What do you say?
Yeah, come back and cook for us, guys. All right. All right. So, when Evie Rosen asked her friends to help knit Afghans for local homeless shelters, she had no idea it would catch on as it has. What started with one grandma in Wausau, Wisconsin, is now a nationwide organization called Warm Up America. Here to tell us about it herself is Evie herself.
There you go, Evie.
Evie,
delighted to be
I
here.
was just admiring what you were wearing, but all of you women made your sweaters that you're wearing as well, right? It's just fabulous. Now, how did you start with this Warm Up America concept?
I started with it because I was hearing a great deal in the media about all the homeless. I owned a needlework shop, and my customers were saying, what'll I do with this leftover yarn? And it seemed like if everybody made a small section, they could be joined together and made into Afghans for the homeless.
And Warm Up America.
Yes.
Now listen to this. They have donated almost 30,000 Afghans now. Now, yes, go ahead.
Where do they go?
They go to anyone in need of them. They go to children's hospitals, shelters for the homeless, shelters for abused women and children, AIDS hospitals, victims of natural disasters. We just sent about 650 of them to North Dakota, to the flood victims.
Now you have here the local group today is affiliated with Warm Up America, and we have some, they're called the Slip Stitchers. Is this all that's in the group, or do you have some more?
Oh, we have plenty more.
How many? 20 more?
We have plenty more.
Plenty
40
more
of us.
All right, now the co-founder is Karen Proel, and she's here with, now you're Karen. You're Karen. I was admiring your beautiful one that you made. That is so great. If we wanted to get involved with the organization, how do we do that?
Evie has the 800 number for it, or you could call the Slip Stitchers. And we have a local group.
Now, how often do you meet?
We meet every third Saturday of the month in El Segundo at
the
Jocelyn Center.
Now, do you get together just to knit at that time, or do you knit on your spare time and bring what you have to the meeting? Why are you laughing?
We knit all the time.
You never without your knitting?
And Judy's
we carry
the president.
it in our purses.
Right.
Yes.
Now, how do you decide where to send your donations?
Each one of our project chairmen makes that determination. Now there's Warm Up America, there's Linus blankets. Some of these blankets we will give to Linus blankets. We have AIDS Heartline. Yeah, this is an Afghan that we'd put together.
You know,
you want to turn that over?
People ask how they can get involved, and it can start in your schools. We have a letter here from the Rye Country Day School, Cedar Street, Rye, New York, and it says, I'm a middle school teacher at Rye Country Day School in New York. I learned of Warm Up America through my local knitting store, so check with your stores. They can help you. When I first approached my colleagues about teaching our 7th grade students to knit, they were skeptical. However, the kids climbed aboard. We spent 40 minutes each Monday working on several squares. The multicolored Afghan now is our product. These squares by no means are perfect, but they are very proud of the efforts as well as they should be. And this is from
the Afghans.
From the Rye Country Day School, from Kate Price
they
and
made
their
this?
kids. Look at that.
What the children made.
Came from
This
7th graders.
wonderful.
Isn't that nice?
That is so, and it's
to
nice
get
and warm.
involved with Warm Up America, we have an 800 number, 1-800-662-9999,
Easy to remember.
which is the Craft Yarn Council, which supports us and sponsors
And again,
us.
if you miss the number, just go to your local knitting store, and I'm sure they can get you hooked up. Or contact us.
Evie Rosen and the Slip Stitchers.
Thanks so much, Evie.
Thank you.
Great
Thank you
story.
so much.
We'll take a break, tell you
That's
what's
a
on
great
tomorrow's show. We'll be right
name for
back.
a rock band. Evie Rosen.
Hey, how are you?
So tomorrow they just informed me the jaws of life I'm going to be saved from. I don't want to do that. I did that in my first marriage. I don't want to do that again. I know. Thank you. I'm not going there again.
It's a better joke than I had. Everett Harp, thanks very much. Evie Rosen, thanks so much. The fire department, can't thank you enough. Terrific.
Hey, aren't
we
they
will
great?
see you tomorrow. Boney James, Al Jerome, more fun. Bye-bye.
production facilities provided by Universal Studios Hollywood.